Today, we're embarking on a spiritual journey as we explore 12 powerful Ash Wednesday quotes to ignite your Lenten journey. Ash Wednesday calls us to pause, reflect, and renew our hearts. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, like and share the videos. Let's begin. Quote 1. Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. Genesis 3:19, the Bible. This biblical declaration sets the tone for Ash Wednesday by confronting us with the truth of our mortality. It calls for reflection on our origins and our inevitable return to the earth, reminding us that life is both fragile and finite. Recognizing that our time here is temporary encourages us to evaluate our lives and priorities. It's a call to shed superficial pursuits and focus on what truly matters: spiritual growth and personal transformation. As you ponder these words, allow yourself to embrace the humility and honesty necessary to begin a journey of true renewal. Quote 2. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Psalm 51:10, the Bible. This quote is a prayer for inner cleansing, a desire to have our hearts purified and our spirits realigned with God's will. In the Lenten season, this verse encourages self-examination and contrition, inviting us to confront our shortcomings without judgment. The imagery of a clean heart and a right spirit serves as both a goal and a promise, that through sincere repentance and divine grace, transformation is possible. This call to renewal is especially relevant as we face our vulnerabilities, acknowledging our need for forgiveness and the strength to rebuild ourselves from within. Quote 3. Ash Wednesday is an invitation to conversion, not a punishment. Pope Benedict XVI. Pope Benedict XVI's insight offers a liberating perspective on Ash Wednesday. Instead of viewing the ashes as a symbol of condemnation, he presents them as a heartfelt invitation to change and renewal. This shift in perspective is essential for anyone embarking on a Lenten journey. Conversion, in this sense, isn't about guilt or shame, it's about rediscovering who we are in the light of God's mercy. When we accept this invitation, we allow ourselves the grace to let go of past errors and embrace a future filled with hope and possibility. It's a reminder that every act of penitence is a step towards spiritual freedom, a chance to reorient our lives toward compassion, forgiveness, and authentic faith. Quote 4. In the ashes, we see the possibility of rebirth. In our repentance, we find our true identity. St. Augustine. St. Augustine's words encourage us to see beyond the physical mark of the ashes. They are not just a symbol of mortality, but also a sign of potential rebirth. Through the act of repentance, we are given the chance to strip away the layers of sin and distraction that obscure our true selves. Augustine's quote suggests that within every moment of contrition lies the opportunity to rediscover our authentic identity, a self that is capable of change, growth, and renewal. In the Lenten season, this perspective is transformative. It invites us to view our past mistakes as catalysts for a deeper, more meaningful engagement with our spiritual lives. Every tear shed and every moment of introspection is a step toward reclaiming the light within us. Quote 5. Let this Lenten season be a mirror in which you see your true self and an opportunity to be remade. Thomas Merton. This quote extends the idea of inner renewal by urging us to view Lent as a mirror, a reflective surface that reveals both our imperfections and our potential for transformation. When we look into this mirror, we are confronted with our true selves, stripped of pretense and distraction. This moment of honest self-assessment is the cornerstone of growth. Merton's quote invites us to embrace vulnerability, to see our flaws not as insurmountable barriers, but as openings for divine intervention and personal change. The Lenten season, with its emphasis on fasting, prayer, and repentance, becomes the perfect time to allow this introspection to guide us toward becoming the best version of ourselves. Quote 6. Repentance is the key that unlocks the door to the heart of God. Pope John Paul II. Transitioning from introspection to action, Pope John Paul II's quote provides a clear solution for our spiritual quest during Lent. Repentance is not merely a ritualistic act, it is the essential process through which we align ourselves with God's boundless love and mercy. By repenting, we acknowledge our shortcomings and open our hearts to divine healing. This act of turning away from sin and toward God is what grants us access to the fullness of His grace. For many, the idea of repentance may carry a sense of loss or regret, but here it is reframed as the very mechanism that liberates us from our past. Quote 7. The path of repentance is not always easy, but it is the road to liberation from our past. Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Dietrich Bonhoeffer's quote serves as a realistic yet hopeful continuation of our journey. While the previous quote highlighted the key role of repentance, Bonhoeffer reminds us that the process is often fraught with difficulty. True repentance demands courage. It requires us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and to endure the pain of letting go of old habits and sins. However, the struggle is not in vain. As we walk this challenging path, we begin to break free from the chains of our past. The liberation that comes from sincere repentance is transformative. It frees our minds, hearts, and souls to embrace a life filled with hope and renewal. Quote 8. Through the ashes of our failures, the light of grace shines brighter than ever. C.S. Lewis C. says. Lewis offers a poetic yet practical perspective on how our darkest moments can give way to divine grace. In the journey of repentance and renewal, our failures and shortcomings are inevitable. Yet it is precisely through these experiences, symbolized by the ashes, that the light of God's grace becomes most apparent. Lewis's quote suggests that our struggles and missteps are not endpoints, but rather the raw material from which spiritual beauty is forged. As we endure the trials of Lent, we learn that grace is not diminished by our imperfections. Instead, it illuminates the path to recovery and rebirth. Quote 9. The journey of Lent is a call to look within, to confront our darkness, and to embrace the healing power of forgiveness. Henry Nouwen. Nouwen's thoughtful reflection deepens our exploration by encouraging us to turn inward and face the shadows that reside in our hearts. The Lenten season is not just about outward rituals, but about a profound internal journey toward wholeness. Nouwen's words invite us to confront the darkness, our fears, regrets, and unhealed wounds with courage and compassion. In doing so, we open ourselves up to the healing power of forgiveness, both from God and from ourselves. This internal confrontation is challenging, but it is also liberating. By acknowledging our imperfections and extending forgiveness, we create the space for genuine healing and transformation. Quote 10. Lent teaches us that our scars are reminders of our strength and the promise of healing. Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa's words offer a tender yet powerful reflection on the meaning of our past struggles. In the context of Lent, our scars, both physical and emotional, are not symbols of weakness, but of survival and resilience. Each scar tells a story of hardship overcome and of the enduring strength within us. This quote encourages us to reframe our perception of pain. Rather than being ashamed of our past, we can see it as a testament to our capacity for healing and growth. Mother Teresa's insight is especially comforting during Lent, a season dedicated to transformation and renewal. Quote 11. When we walk the Lenten path, we are not alone. Every step of our journey is accompanied by God's grace. Corrie ten Boom. In the midst of introspection and personal struggle, Corrie ten Boom reminds us that our journey through Lent is a shared one. Her words offer comfort and solidarity, affirming that we are never truly alone on the path of repentance and renewal. Every step we take is gently illuminated by God's unwavering grace. This sense of divine companionship can transform moments of isolation into experiences of profound connection. When we feel weighed down by our imperfections or overwhelmed by the challenges of self-examination, remembering that God walks beside us can provide the strength and encouragement we need to continue forward. Quote 12. Let the ashes on your head remind you that from this season of reflection you will rise renewed and empowered to transform your life. Pope Francis. Pope Francis encapsulates the essence of Ash Wednesday and Lent. The ashes are not a mark of defeat, but a symbol of potential. They are a reminder that through introspection and repentance, we are given the power to be remade. This powerful statement encourages us to see the Lenten season as a period of transformation where the lessons of our past and the grace of our present combine to empower us for the future. It is a call to rise from the ashes of our former selves with a renewed sense of purpose and an unyielding commitment to living a life transformed by faith, love, and grace. May these words inspire you to embrace the challenges and opportunities of Lent with a renewed heart and spirit. Stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.